What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in onto another video. Figured I'd pick up the camera and give a little update and a little process of what we're doing. So we're working on the wiring portion. We got our switch panel right here and got new battery terminals. I decided to go with the marine style, like for a boat, because it's got this section up here. Makes it a lot easier. What?
Mama, me back.
Mama, me Brett.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some more little quarter-inch female fittings. This is for like 16 to 14 gauge. And I had to get this guy. I had to get them for a cable that runs to our fuse box. And I'll show you what we made. So we'll start here at the starter. So with the engine harness that we had, it already had a power wire ran to the alternator made into the harness. So pretty much they wanted you to make like a daisy connect to loop over. After we made our power wire to the battery to go to the starter, we got it right here, and then we went ahead and done our loop back in to connect the circuit, so it goes from the starter down to the alternator. So with the wire we made, I went ahead and I put some heat shrink on it. I got different sizes. Got this pretty good size heat shrink. Got a medium size, or the medium size, and then got a smaller size. Pretty much clean up my wire and make it all look nice and neat at the end, because I am putting my own fittings on. I gotta get some more of these. These are the battery lugs that I used, as you can see right there. So we ran it from there, connected it up here to the intake, ran it down along the side here. I actually ran it through the traction bar, through this little portion right there, ran it up, got it zip tied up out of the way, and got it fit up through there. And it goes through the hole on the firewall, and then we run it up through the firewall right there, and that little round hole, right up along the side, where the fuel lines or brake lines would go, all the way to the back, and brought it right here and made my connector. So it'll go on just like so. I'm gonna build me a battery box to hold this in place. Like I said, use the heat shrink at the end to kind of clean it up, make it look somewhat professional. So that was the plan. All this is just hand tight. Here's the cable that I made to go to the fuse box for the power. So it runs all the way across, parallel with the positive battery cable, straight in to the fuse box right here. And this was on the harness for the engine harness that was already made into it. So that went to this side. We just had to make the positive side. Got all that done. And so yeah, right now we're pretty much just working on the switch panel itself, and just gotta make our ground to the battery and we should be there. Alright, so pretty much working a little bit off camera. This is what I got done yesterday, and it's currently 2 o'clock in the morning. I started working on this, and then once I got that done, I started working on the fuel pumps and getting them wired up and stuff. And my neighbor ended up had a little get together, and they had the big cups of it's like the oversized beer pong. You put them on the ground and you got like balls like that. Well, went next door and started playing that, and I stopped working on this. So randomly woke up 2 o'clock in the morning, and now I'm down here working on the car. So this is what I got done before I went over there. So I got all this extra wire that's going to go inside the car, and this will run to my fuse box. On the battery side, this will power the it'll be the power supply to the whole switch panel. So I got this one wire ran up, twisted in, got these 4 wires together, got them soldered up, and a heat shrink. So I ran a medium-sized heat shrink right here, and then ran a smaller one over top of the medium right here to here. Kind of cleaned it up a little bit. So right down here at this bottom, this is our 12-volt power, and this is the 20 amp. So this 20 amp goes over here, crosses over to the push button. So when we flip this switch like that, the power from the fuse box, which comes from the battery, will run up, go into here, supply to our 12 volt, which will give power to our 20 amp. That goes into here. Be just like having a key to the on position. It'll also supply power to these 3 accessory switches, whatever you end up putting them on, because they are soldered in, they're looped in, and it supplies power to the whole entire switch panel. So like I said, it's like you got the key to the on position, and this guy right here is just our ground for the starter. It doesn't go to the starter. It's just the ground. Now this guy right here, which says on the side it's 4. I got it marked on my board over there just in case I ever forget if I don't get to it in time. Maybe say a couple days or so I don't forget. So I put the wire in there, tighten the screw down. This will actually run to my signal wire on the starter. So after I got this switch flipped up, like I said, the key to the on position, I push this, the push start button. Once I push that, it sends power straight through here to the signal wire on the starter, and it will start the car. So with all of this is all power in. These top ones are power out for my accessory. So this is supplying power to each of these switches when this is on. And then once I flip this switch, it'll send the power out to whatever is wired up to that switch. So say for instance, like I said, I was working right here on wiring up my fuel pumps and stuff. Now this is going to be my ground. It's a work in progress, so I don't have anything loomed up or nothing like that, or a heat shrink on this guy yet. That's just where my stopping point was. So say if I get my grounds, which is going to be running right here, I want to grind this down just a little bit, get some bare metal, have a bolt in there, and it's just going to literally fold up underneath, and it'll come up the backside, get right there, nice and clean. Get the 2 powers twisted together, soldered up with another wire just like this, pretty much making a Y connection. Get 2 powers done the same way as this, ran up. It'll go into the car, and I will connect one of these little females, and that will connect here, and that will finish my power supply to the fuel pumps, because I'll have my grounds right here, going to here, grounded out, power running together into one wire, ran up into the car, ran into here. Now in order for the fuel pumps to work, turn this around with the wire, like I said, going to this top piece because that's the power out. Flip this up, flip the switch, flip this, fuel pumps will be on. Now once I do that, with these being dual pumps and without actually like overfeeding the engine with fuel, even though I know it won't continuously spray into the intake and stuff in the head for the fuel and stuff. As soon as I flip this, I'll hit this. So it'd be like a split second to go ahead and prime it and then flip up. Now this switch right here will be my fan. That's what I want to do. And then also, since I don't have a steering column, more than likely I will be finding my power wire that goes up to, like, for my turning signals and stuff like that, and my lights, that'll get wired into here. Now, the reason why I say that is because when I did test out to see if I had power and stuff, which I put my my positive terminal on the battery, and I just took my negative wire, which I do not have the battery loads yet for that. Now, the reason why I say I may have to put on that switch for my lights and stuff to work, because I don't know if all that was tied into the ignition switch, like wire-wise. So if I do have that switch panel flipped up with power supplied to it, there's a possible chance that my headlights and stuff won't work or turning signals like that, because right there at the steering column, I don't have the key to the on position to supply everything up there. Now, I won't know that 110% sure until I get these relays, because I did have a EF sedan that had running issues, and I ended up pulling all the relays out of the fuse box for this car and put it over in that car, pretty much just troubleshooting it and stuff. Well, long story short, got rid of the car, fuses stayed in it, and now I don't have nothing for this car now. So I'll have to get the relays for it. The fuses are in there. I still need the light relay, which is a 40 amp, the ignition relay, which is a 50 amp, and then I need the 60 amp for the battery relay to go inside the fuse box, and then it'll be done. So once I get that battery relay and the ignition and the lights put in, that's when I'll know 100% if I'm going to have to wire that hot wire straight to that last toggle switch to make my turn signals, headlights, and stuff like that work. So fingers crossed, I won't have to do that. It'll all be tied in with that big switch, but I don't know. We'll see, because it will be ran to the fuse box, and really hope I don't have to do that, but if I do, it's okay. Ain't no big deal. So enough talking. Just give you a brief update, and I'm going to finish up what I was working on the fuel pumps, getting them wired in, stuff like that. So I ain't going to try to make this video extremely long. It's just a very simple process now. I was really dreading this wiring stuff for the switch panel, and then making my own cables and stuff, and pretty much wiring up the whole power portion of the car. And I was just dreading it. Big thanks to my dad. He came over, Saturday, which, I mean, now it's Monday, it's Labor Day, so I'm off work. He came over Saturday around lunchtime, 1 o'clock, something like that. And we sat down and we put our heads together and pretty much had everything figured out. Now I made it 100% understandable to me. So big thanks to him for helping me out with that. I'm sure he'll be watching this video after it gets put out. So thank you for getting rid of my headache. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish knocking this out. Pretty much get as much done as I possibly can to where it's at least 90% done, because I will have to go to AutoZone and get some battery lugs to finish out my my ground cable to my terminal and stuff like that. So no big deal. Just working with the process. So, like I said, enough talk. Let's get to work. That was late, wasn't it? That was late. Let's do this again. Bit of progress I've made so far. I got our 2 positives ran together, soldered into 1 wire. Got 2 wires going in, 1 coming out. Same thing for the ground. Got our weather protectors over top of the terminals, so they don't get any kind of weather, wet, rain, or anything like that. Keep everything protected, no corrosion. Got the ground ran right here, which we will be taking a grinder, taking down to metal so we can get a good connection. I just put that there, that way I know for myself that's where the ground's going to be. Got the power, the positive side, ran up through here, ran up, going in here with the headlight harness, and I do have it tucked up underneath. It's ran along, goes inside the car. And it is right here. I gave myself plenty of extra wire, which, as you can tell, it goes almost to the back of the car. Gave myself extra, that way I'm not feeding through somewhere inside in the fender or whatever, or under the dash, and trying to solder and make an adapter like to extend it. So I'll get this exactly ran where it's going to be, where I put my switch panel at. And then, like I said before, if you don't know, I get that spliced and get a female 1/4-inch connector put on, and it will go right here on this top side, because that'll be the power out. This is power in. So the power will be going in once I flip the switch. Once again, it'll give power to this switch, and then I flip the switch, it'll send the power out, and it'll run through the car over to the fuel pumps. It'll be grounded out, send power to it, fuel pumps kick on, then I can start the car. So very simple. It's just like really small, tedious work. Just something you want to take your time with, not rush, because it is wiring. If you do rush it and do it wrong or any way incorrect, then you can possibly have shortage throughout the car, or arc somewhere if it's not spliced and soldered and heat shrink correctly. May touch somewhere metal and ground out, causing sparks and maybe possibly a fire. So something like this, you really want to take your time and do, and not push to get it done fast, but do it in like a timely manner. We are pretty much at the end of this build. Well, I wouldn't really say the end, because they never get done. There's always something to upgrade, to change up. But as far as starting a car, we're we're getting pretty close to that point, and I'm overly excited, but I'm also not rushing it, like I said. So once I get my battery lugs, like for here, then I would do the same like I did and have the heat shrink. This right here is our ground cable. So the terminal's still up front. I got it in front of the car on the ground, it's still in the package, but it will be ran to here. Alright guys, so we got some more progress done. We got our ground terminal made. As you can see, we're working inside of the car. So here's what we got made. Pretty proud of myself. Made all this from scratch. So I actually went to Tractor Supply, picked up like a little sheet metal, very thin. I went and picked it up, and I measured the size of like my relays and stuff, and I trimmed this down to match this. So what I had done was I cut the backside for all the relays and stuff to fit through. Got this guy mounted with little rivets. Got a rivet inserted in, and now with this guy mounted up, so even with my, I'm gonna leave my wire and stuff over there because I will be pulling this back apart to get everything fed through. So we'll go ahead and get this guy mounted up over here so you all can see. Actually, I'll probably just put it right here. Get our little screws started. Now this was a very simple project. It was easy to do. You can do it at home just like I did. To be honest with you, it was pretty fun. Wasn't bad at all. So it was my first time ever making like a little mount and stuff for a switch panel. So if that goes to tell you that I can do it, then you can do it. Nice and sturdy. And just for mounting purposes, just like so. And be like that. So very simple. Could have made it like a little bit longer in length, kind of filling this gap a little bit, but honestly I'm not too worried about that. It's not going to bother me none. It may bother other people, but I'll deal with it. So we're actually going to pull this back off, and we're going to add a little something right here. And there we go. Just a little joke for myself. Light on equals party time. So when I flip this switch, That'll send power through the whole car. Like I previously stated twice, this little LED light will come on. Flip the fuel pump, turn the fuel pumps on. As soon as they come on, literally like not even 2 seconds after coming on, boom, start. Go to turn the vehicle off, boom. And even with the switch up, this will be the main power and it'll cut everything off. And that'll be done. And these will be for the fans. So, turned out pretty good. I like it. I like it a lot. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the progress we have made on the car today and yesterday. It may not seem like we've done a lot, but honestly, it's when it comes down to wiring, there's a lot that got done. If you know the whole splicing, cutting, soldering, running wires throughout the car, making the battery terminals and stuff, and getting the wires and stuff fed through the battery gauges, getting them clamped down, cutting the wire down the sides, measuring, cutting. It's a lot of work that goes put into wiring, and especially with the switch panel itself, getting everything routed how I wanted it, the correct way of how to wire it. And it's just very small stuff that can add up pretty quick, and you may think it will be like a 30-minute job, and next thing you know, you make 2 wires, solder them together, run them through the car, and jump on something else, and then next thing you know, you've been working on the car for 2 hours. It's just it's crazy, and I cannot stand the wiring portion. And after doing all of this, I'm starting to actually like it. Like, I'm getting more comfortable with it, and it's starting to be something that I actually enjoy doing now. And I think the biggest reason why is because it's on my car. So everything turned out pretty good. Made a lot of progress. So if you guys don't care to give this video a thumbs up for us pushing forward, it'll help our channel. It'll help motivate the build even more. Seeing you guys actually giving me feedback, comments, even just a simple thumbs up. It don't cost you no money. It just goes to show that you guys actually see me putting in the hard grind on this car, putting in the work, the time, the money, never giving up, just pushing through even when something feels like it's impossible, and something maybe that I don't even feel like could be done. It's just crazy. So any feedback would be great. Just give me a thumbs up. That's all I'm asking. And if you don't like the build, you don't like the channel or the video, give me a thumbs down. Maybe there's something I can work on. Maybe there's something I can improve on the video to make it better for you guys, make you guys enjoy watching it. I mean, we are a small channel right now, and I'd really like to grow. I wouldn't mind at all. Being here in Kentucky, there's no YouTubers, nobody really striving out there to build their channel, build a name for themselves, and that's our main goal. I mean, we want to reach out to y'all, give y'all good content from another channel. I mean, even if the subscribers you all watch aren't posting any videos and it's been a day or so and you need something to watch, click the channel, go check out my other videos. Maybe you'll realize that we've been putting in some work on this car, and we're gonna get somewhere with it. It's just a matter of time. So I appreciate you guys tuning into this video, and if you are subscribed to the channel, I appreciate it a lot. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscription button, hit that notification bell, and you'll be able to stay on top of the on the build and be one of the first to watch the videos, because you will get that notification. So we're gonna go ahead and end this one here. Big progress. So we'll see you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.